Hello everyone and welcome back. Right now I'm in Epping going to the train station, and today is going to be a very long day because I'll be joining up with my friends later and going to the Blue Mountains. It's not exactly autumn just yet, but the leaves are yellow enough, so it's a good idea to head in. Grab a snack, sit tight and join me for the long day. We're finally in Strathfield, and you might be wondering, hey, why aren't we on the train yet? Well, let's just call it a Sydney delay. Happens all the time, eh? Anyway, we're gonna wait for around 15 minutes or so. We'll wait for the train and we'll head to Lura first, and we'll get off for some, hopefully, autumn colors. All right, without further ado, let's get going. After 2 hours on a train, we are finally at Lura. Now, this is very high up in the mountains and a little bit cold, so I might put back my jacket, but let's walk for a bit and see. I think most of the things are open, so we can get resupplies if we want, but all should be fine. Excited, boys?
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, let's get going. After a bit of walking, we have arrived at the Olympian Rock. Well, I call this a lookout, and boy, look at this place. This is one of the few lookouts around here that are completely unobstructed and have like one of those biggest openings ever. As you can see, it's a little bit windy, but my shot's not right here. It's a little bit up there. I'll show you guys a bit later, but for now, let's take a look at this and do some B-roll. I was just down there and I felt like walking up here and having on this rock would be a better idea. Actually, that's a lie. I've actually been here last year and here's the photo. It's just that it wasn't very good. It was just a filler tier photo because I saw the spot and I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool, let's do it. So this year I have it planned out. Hopefully with the new gear it works a lot better, but I have no guarantees. The wind is all right, the sun is a little bit too strong, honestly, but I feel like with some stacking, it should work. My friends are right down there. I don't think you can see them, but I'll be doing the photo here. Hopefully I can be done within an hour or so and nothing bad happens, because it already happened this morning. All right, let's roll on to the setup. Here we have the first shot of the day. Now, this didn't take a long time to set up, nor is it very difficult, but I understand the behind the scenes just now was a little bit difficult to see. But you'll understand why I was doing that after you see it from my point of view. This shot is not very risky, it's just that everything is a bit cramped up here because I don't have a lot of space to move around, and nor do I have a lot of space to put things a little bit far away. The camera itself, the Pocket 3, is the furthest it can go, and I only put that there now because I'm sure I won't tip it over. Now let's take a look at what I'm using. The 15-35 at 20mm, f4 for a little bit more bokeh. The background's a little bit harsh today, with 2 flashes as supporting lights fighting against the sun. So one over here, one right below the camera, and one light on top of the camera, just providing some glare into the eyes, because when I do stacking, it's going to cover all the shadows, and this can provide a little bit more light as usually how I do it. And everything seems to be stable, so I hope the wind doesn't, you know, fuck with my stacking shots. So all for the best. Let's take a look at the shot. All right, looking quite good, I'd say. I think, where are those two? I don't know where those two at. One's coming back, Alvin's maybe down there, so I might have some time to change the doll's outfit out and prepare for the next shot. All right, I'm done with the first shot, and my friends are staying back here because they saw some birds, and I don't think they're gonna like to leave very much. So I'm going to be heading to the second spot alone, and later can join by them again. So for now, I think it's really fine venturing alone because it's like in the middle of a suburb anyway, and they're on the side of a cliff. I think you can see which one's more dangerous. I'm gonna walk up these stairs and go up to the yellow leaves. Let's go. Real quick, right? These yellow leaves right behind me, as you can see along the street, don't know exactly what I want. I want those all over the floor, you know, those autumny colors. And there's around 2 or 3 spots in this suburb that offer them. It's quite early in the autumn right now, so I'm not exactly getting reds, but that I might do a red leaves thing maybe later this month. Who knows? Oh, my back's really heavy for today. Oh God. I'm currently in one of these random streets in the Lura suburb alongside the way towards the train station, that's how I put it. And I found this road right here with a lot of fallen leaves and a little bit of a yellow tree. Well, it's not exactly fully yellow. There's one right here that's very yellow, and there's one right above me that's also quite the stunner. Yeah, it's getting red as well, so this is a good bet. I'm probably going to use a 70-200 maybe at 100 or 135mm, shoot along this with a portrait orientation, but I'll see what I can do about that. Because the wind is a little bit concerning, and I will need to put the doll, say, right around here or so. I don't know how this is going to work, so all for the best. Let's try out this with a telephoto. Alright, here we have the second shot, and I'm running a little bit short on time, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Everything with this is just easy compression, the stock standard filler portrait shot. I'm using a 70-200 at a little bit under 135mm, f6.3, because everything above 5.6 is going to get blurred into oblivion anyway, and I want a little bit of foreground and a little bit of background, so hopefully that works out. With a portrait orientation and ISO a little bit higher because, well, as you can see, the highlights behind are completely blown out and there's a lot of shadows in front. So I'm using 2 flashes and a little bit of trickery to light up the front and make it look as balanced as possible, but I don't think even with the R5 I can pull all the background back into normal-ish. Hopefully it'll look balanced enough when editing. As the 70-200 has helped me a lot in this kind of situation with compressing everything, and I don't think with the 15-35 I could have done this shot, so hopefully everything works out. Let's take a look at the shot. Good enough for a filler shot. I'd say just a stock standard background portrait kind of thing, so good enough for me. I'm running a little bit short on time, so I'll pack up everything and go to the next street over there. I basically only packed in half my stuff because I didn't want to just walk like 100 meters and having to open everything all up again. So yeah, it's on my shoulder and it's very heavy. I'm one street across from the one I was just now, and I'm seeing a little bit of red, but I want some yellow, I want some red, I want to mix it both. Not having my hopes exactly very high, honestly. Remember last year I came here, the street was full of red, and now it's just not really that much. Let's go look around. I'm seeing a little bit of red up ahead, but it's not much, honestly. It's all just green with a little bit of red undertone. That's about it. Honestly, a little bit disappointing. Like, check this out. It's like, it's not very red. I mean, I'm okay with it because I know I'm here early. I'm just wanting some yellow, some, you know, brighter colors, but this just isn't giving me that. It's all right though. All right, there is one really red tree. Like, look at this. It's really orange red and it looks really good. However, there's just one. And yes, I can do like a telephoto with the 7200 now, but I don't think it's going to work because everything down here is just green, like pale yellow. It's not going to help with the entire red thing. And behind that, yeah, it's all green. I might do this, I might not. I'll think about it. But if not, let's continue on. All right, in the end, I decided to, you know, take a risk and do this place despite not having a lot of time. Luckily, this shot is relatively easy, so let's go over this really quickly. 70-200 at 70mm, f2.8 for maximum bokeh, and I'm using a higher ISO under extreme daylight for a higher shutter speed because I am under heavy shadows. 2 flashes to balance out the lighting. However, one is mounted on the same level, the other one is it's slightly below everything, so hopefully the light doesn't look too weird. I looked at the finished one, it's all right, I'd say, but overall, not great. I thought of using 100 or 135mm, but the compression isn't exactly how I like it. I like a little bit more of the surroundings instead of just one straight line to the background, so hopefully this works out well. Either way, time to take a look at the shot. Looks good enough. I think I will maybe find a place in the park in front, or maybe just use this spot because the shadows, there's a bit of wind, feels comfortable. I'll change everything maybe right here or at the park. We'll see. Cool, I'm done with the third shot of the day, and my friends just came back from their little journey. How was your trip?
Very nice.
Very nice? Amazing. So we're gonna get some lunch, and I'm going to do maybe the 4th shot in Lura after the lunch one. That means we're gonna be a little bit late for Wentworth Falls. However, I do think like an hour and a half is enough for that place. Either way, I'm also a little bit hungry, so let's go explore what's for lunch. All right, we just got back to the main town center area and we had lunch. Feeling much better, eh?
Yep.
All right.
Fish and chips is really good.
I know, right? How was it compared to Newcastle, though?
I think the chips and the sauce was nice.
Uh-huh.
And you got 2 fillets.
Yeah, instead of like one tiny one in Sydney, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to head towards the train and we're going to Wentworth Falls for the Golden Leaf Tunnel. Our day is far from over, Alvin, so let's get going.
No!
Let's get going. All right, Wentworth Falls, and we're on a train just now. We're looking at the outside and we saw a lot of yellow leaves, which is absolutely brilliant. Alvin's gonna go to the lake, what?
Red over there.
Yeah, red right over there. See that right behind me? All of that right behind me is red. So I don't think we should waste any more time. The sun is going down quicker, so I think we're gonna race. Let's get going. All right, after walking for a bit, I have arrived at the so-called Golden Arches. Well, it's not McDonald's, but it's some sort of golden tree tunnel. And hopefully I can show you real quick. So it's the one right behind me. See this right here? It's not very good. I don't think I'll be shooting in the middle of the road because there are cars around and it's not exactly a very good idea. Look at this. The roads on the sides, yes, they have very cool leaves and all that, but it's also not very good. The sun is blaring right into the lens and the lens flare is going to render the entire photo basically useless. Unfortunately, I don't think this spot actually works. I think I did a photo here last year. Here's that photo. It's a prototype of a, you know those photos I like doing, like 1-to-1 shots? Yeah, they're one of those. I think I'll just bet my chances and go to the lake right behind me. My friend's over there shooting birds and I know there are some red trees over there. Maybe my chances over there are higher, but who knows? Let's go on. All right, I walked a bit and here we are at Wentworth Falls Lake. Now, I know it's not very red in here and I wasn't expecting it to be very red, honestly, but there is a few red trees right behind me, see over there? And there's a big one right here. I'll think about how to do the photo because I can do 2 angles, maybe shoot along this way to get that, or maybe shoot along these wooden planks thing to get these red trees in the way. I think that's the bigger possibility here. It's not exactly very good and some of me, at least part of it, kind of wishes I stayed in Lura instead, but it is what it is and I thought this would be a way better shot. I don't know how I'm going to do the photo with this kind of sun in the way, so it's okay. It's just that the lens flare and everything might screw with the photo, so I might have to do some stacking, which I don't really like doing. I think this is it, so I'll just look around and go on with the last shot setup. Alright, here we have the last shot for today, and apologies if my voice just sounds completely scuffed. I've been talking for the entire day and I'm really tired and I kind of need a break, but let's finish this video first, shall we? Let's take a look at what I'm using. The 70-200 f2.8 at 100 to 135, something between that. I feel like that's my sweet spot for a telephoto lens for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just the same thing with 35, like 35, 70 and something between that. That's my thing. Now the flaring's really, really bad with this one, so I'm going to have to cover half the frame with my hand or anything I can find, and then photoshopped in the unflared bits, if you get what I mean. So the image doesn't seem washed out, has some contrast to it, especially with the telephoto lens, because with how complex the optical formula is, everything's kind of messed up with just a little bit of flare. F5.6 for a little bit more background clarity with a portrait orientation. 2 flashes over there, mainly providing and fighting against the horrible sun and flaring. They're on pretty much half output, and I hope to God they don't overheat. Anyway, let's take a look at the shot. Looks good enough for something I pulled out of my ass last second, honestly. There's really nothing else here, everything's a bit walled off, and maybe I'll shoot the outro on this tree. Yeah, sounds good enough. What a long, long day. I spent the first half of the day in Lura. Well, honestly, way more than the first half doing 3 shots. I actually wanted to do an extra photo right after my lunch, but I saw the place. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like those rosewood leaves and a lot of like yellowish green trees on top. But I felt like it would be the exact same thing over and over again. And I'm going to a very autumny place later this month, and I felt like that would have been the same thing, but just better. Honestly, right now, I kind of wish that I stayed in Lura, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it. How's your shot today? Someone's pretty happy. Got any good birds?
Yes.
Good. I mean, today was worth it, right?
Over there was worth it.
What about the first half of the day?
That was pretty worth it.
Good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching to the end of this absolutely horrible video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this garbage content. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video. Lemon out.
Like and subscribe.